We don't know you an intro. I don't care about your intro. We just wanted to talk about a game that we really like playing.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't need you to be judgy and
I'm a
whatnot.
strong, independent content creator. I don't need no audience. I do need an audience. I do.
That literally is why you're a content creator.
Yep. Hi everybody, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
Today we're here to talk to you about HOTS of the Storm, which is what I call Heroes of the Storm, which is actually abbreviated HOTS.
Yep, so saying HOTS of the Storm
Is redundant.
Yep.
It's like ATM machine.
Or like Rip in Peace.
Oh, like Rip in Peace.
Yep. I mean, all of these are just, I hate all of these.
Heroes of the Storm is Blizzard's entry into the MOBA scene. If you're familiar with MOBAs at all, you know that this is a very saturated marketplace. There's tons of MOBAs. We've personally talked about at least 2 closing in the past 2 months or something like that. It's a very, very saturated marketplace. I think it's very difficult to have a title that stands out in this space. And I think HOTS does it really well. I think...
Well, I mean, they kind of have a giant Goliath behind them.
Yeah, they have Blizzard. They can throw money at problems real easily.
I mean, just the name Blizzard behind a MOBA, you're just like, okay, I'm paying attention.
Indigo and I have played a lot of MOBAs together. We've played Smite together, we've played League together, we've played Paragon together.
We played Gigantic together.
We played Gigantic together. We've played a lot of, that other one, the one that closed very recently, with the
MXM?
lobby that you hated. Yeah, we played MXM together for a minute.
There has been 3 MOBAs that we have just named that have been
That
closed,
have closed,
or is about to close.
Rip in pieces. HOTS is the only one that has not only held both of our attention for a substantial period of time, but it's gotten a lot of our friends into it as well. People that are used to playing League, people that are used to playing, I think actually it's just League. I'm pretty sure all of our friends played League.
They played League. I mean, other people have played League but weren't into it.
Right.
But are into Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, and it's like to the point where we almost have 2 full 5-mans of people that play at any given time. Most nights there's more than 5 people on at a time that want to play HOTS, and we have to just kind of like shuffle ourselves around. It's the only game that's done that so far in the MOBA space, and it's really cool that it can do that. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we're playing it so much, and one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it today.
Yeah, and I think it's because we're also really familiar with the Blizzard franchises as a whole.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of the reason why Heroes of the Storm is so successful, because you immediately have an idea of what that character is going to be or do.
Yeah. Because
of all of the other titles.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear Zarya is being added to the game, you're like, well, I know what Zarya does in Overwatch.
I know what one of her ults is going to be.
Yeah, so you're just like, okay, I've got an idea or an inkling of the type of character she's going to be in this MOBA.
Yeah.
Versus other games like League of Legends who are like, we're going to introduce this X character.
It's
and
from their own IP that's not super, it's not even really an IP, right? Like, the story element behind it isn't well created. It's been retconned a million times, and nobody really pays attention to it. Like, people play League for the game, which is fine. I'm not knocking League. Like, that game's really fun in its own right. But it's difficult to get a sense for what characters do. Also, with the scale of characters, there's a ton. There's over 150, I think. There's so many characters.
And Heroes of the Storm is getting to
it's getting
massive
big.
Like that too. But again, like I said, you have an idea of what these characters are going to do.
Yeah.
Because they've already have their own established storyline, history, and that's what's great about Heroes of the Storm.
Genji. What does Genji do in Heroes of the Storm?
I bet she's gonna throw shurikens.
I bet she's gonna have a deflect ability.
Yeah.
Probably also a dash.
Yeah.
Dash is probably gonna refresh when he kills someone with it. All these things are true.
You're gonna get these established, and Heroes of the Storm doesn't have to create a in-depth story for each individual character.
Right.
Like,
it's already there. It's built in.
Yeah, their storyline is, hey, all of these Blizzard titles are being teleported here to the Nexus, and they're fighting. That's the story.
Ta-da!
Yeah,
I'm okay with it. When Blizzard released Heroes of the Storm, they had a goal of creating a simple MOBA, an accessible MOBA, not necessarily simple. And I think that they've stayed true to that really well. I think the game, even still in 2018, is one of the simplest to pick up. You don't have items that you have to sift through. There aren't, 100 different items, and building 90% of them on any given character is the wrong choice. You have a set of abilities, and as you level, you get to modify those abilities with certain talents. And those talents are kind of unique per hero. So not every hero has access to the same set of talents because obviously their abilities are different. Because the talents are actually customizable, your character feels truly customizable in an impactful way.
unique.
Unique, exactly. Even from one game to another with you playing the same character, you can build a completely different kit. So your ult can be one of 2 different ultimate abilities that you get to pick in game. So you can kind of decide, oh, do I need this really supportive ultimate that protects my team, or do I need this ult that piles on damage or that buffs my team's damage as opposed to protecting them? It's that kind of dynamicness. And then it's the same with the abilities. Oh, with Genji, do I want to improve his deflect so that its cooldown is less or that it deflects more damage, or do I want to improve his dash so that it does more damage?
Well, and a really good example of that is the Hanzo ability, right? Level 1 Hanzo, you have an option, and one of the main options that gets chosen is the quest where you have to hit every single hero 3 times. Now, normally that's not a horribly difficult thing to do, but if the other team is choosing a character that, like a bother, who is hiding off in the back, and you never really get an opportunity to hit, it makes him unique, and you go into the fight going, I know what my enemy has, I'm going to change up my build.
I'm not going to be able to hit a bother for a very long time. I'm going to pick something else at the beginning. Even though it's not optimal, I'm at least going to get a benefit from it quickly.
And so even though it's simple, it still allows you the unique abilities to make it from game to game.
To make choices and like be tactical without, again, giving you a set of items, and this is something I hate about MOBAs, giving you a set of items for which any given character should only be buying a very small portion of them, and then the rest of them are bad. Like, I don't understand why you'd give that to people.
You're like, oh, I'm an ADC. I'm going to only build armor.
Yeah. And then the other thing about HOTS ability customization is that you can pick new abilities. Like, some characters for certain levels, you can pick a whole new active ability. So you can get like, oh, now you have an ability that puts you in stasis. And then, so you've mapped like your row of standard abilities, and then you just add another one, and you can map that separately and have a different button for it and use it. I think that's cool. You're not limited to a set number of abilities, and it kind of adds a layer of like, does the enemy know what I picked? Do they know that I have this new ability that like does more damage or something? Probably not at my level. While the game is substantially simpler than other MOBAs, there are some complexities about it. There are a lot of different maps which are very fun and are very unique, but it does make the meta for the game very complex as far as how many people per lane in a 3-lane versus 2-lane map, and for like very large maps versus very condensed maps, or 2-layer maps versus single-layer maps. Like, what's the split? Do I need 2 warriors or 1 warrior? Do I need a specialist or do I not need a specialist? It's complex in that sense, and I don't think Blizzard does enough work in getting that information to the players. There are resources that they have available, but they're kind of hidden away on a site, like behind the news tab, where it kind of explains what the meta is, or like what different roles are good for and what they're not good for. I just feel like there's a lot more work that can be done in kind of explaining that to people. Not necessarily telling them, well, on this map you have to pick this and this, but just kind of similar to Overwatch, where it says, you don't have enough tanks. Are you sure you don't want to go out with enough tanks? Something to that effect in MOBAs, I think, would make a ton of sense, and I'm surprised they don't implement that in HOTS.
For me, there's a couple of maps that I really don't like. Like, I really don't like mines. Like, I used to love mines. And I really, really have grown to really just despise mines. Like, whenever we get that map, we all just groan. I wish there were map selections. Like, it would be great if you wanted to play specific maps. Like, if you and your team want to get better, but actually play against other people.
Yeah,
like,
not in customs. If you could, in quick match, just say, I'd prefer to play these, please.
That would be really, really great. Some of the characters, I feel balance isn't quite set well enough for them, that they need a little bit of improvement.
Yeah, there are definitely tons of characters that are borderline unplayable because they're either hyper difficult or hyper useless. But there are some that are also just blazingly OP. I don't think that's ever a problem that you're going to get rid of in the MOBA.
No, and it's hard to constantly. It's a constantly changing market, especially as you're adding new characters. It's going to change the balance drastically for each new hero that you're bringing. So I don't think that that's something you can necessarily fix. But there are some characters where you're just like, really.
For those of you that play HOTS, I have a 50% win rate as the Lost Vikings. What up?
We're in the process of getting ranked right now as a team. We're about halfway there, and we've won 1 game.
Yeah, it's hard. Probably also shouldn't have done that in the middle of a season, or actually at the end of
a season. Yeah. We'll find out what happens next season.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you guys like this video, I mean, we didn't go over a lot of new things, but if you guys like this video and you want to see us create more content about Heroes of the Storm, I don't think that's going to be a problem with us.
No, we play every day.
Yeah.
At this point, like we picked it up recently, but we haven't put it down since we did.
Yeah, and we've been playing. I mean, I've been playing since like when it first came out, and then I stopped, and then 2.0 came out, and I just was like back on the train. But why don't you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think of Heroes of the Storm? Do you want to see more content? What kind of content do you want to see? Do you want us to give you guys breakdowns of characters? Let us know. While you're down there, make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell. You know all the spiel. I've been GameGorgon. I've been Indigo, and you can reach me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
And I've been QueueTimes. Oh, I've been Krug. You can get me at KrugQT on Twitter. You can also get both of us at _QueueTimes. We've been GameGorgon. We'll see you all tomorrow, or whatever.